you're gonna see the boogeyman. You're gonna see him break. You're gonna see him break in there, and then realize there's only one boogeyman, and that's me. In the middleweight division, there can be only one boogeyman, and that will be me.
Fuck it, yeah.
We'll see. We'll be happy to see him in the cage, middle or fight him, striking, wrestling, grappling, and I want to know how he can handle it.
I've been the underdog most of my career, but yet I am the champion. So, you know, odds don't make fights. And for me, I 100% believe this is the best opponent that I've faced to date, but so was the previous one. You know, every time that you step in there, you are going to face the next most dangerous guy, especially as a champion. So for me, yes, this is the best fighter that the best opponent I've ever come up against. But once again, I will show my improvements and why I'm the champion.
Dricus Du Plessis has made it clear Khamzat Chimaev's wrestling isn't the focus of their fight at UFC 319.
I'm the underdog. I've been the underdog most of my career, but yet I am the champion. So, you know, odds don't make fights. And for me, I 100% believe this is the best opponent that I've faced to date, but so was the previous one.
According to the South African middleweight champion, the match isn't a wrestling contest. This is mixed martial arts, and he's ready to prove why he's the most complete fighter in the division. As Du Plessis prepares to defend his title in the highly anticipated showdown against Chimaev, the pressure is mounting, but for Du Plessis, that pressure is more of a motivator than a hindrance. With everything on the line, he's determined to show the world why he's the reigning champ and why his style will be a challenge for Chimaev, no matter how much the undefeated contender trains.
You know, every time that you step in there, you are going to face the next most dangerous guy, especially as a champion. So for me, yes, this is the best fighter that the best opponent I've ever come up against. But
the stakes couldn't be higher for both fighters heading into UFC 319. Du Plessis, currently on a 9-0 UFC streak, has defied the odds time and time again, continuing to upset predictions and claiming victories in the face of doubts. He's got the belt, but the undefeated Chimaev has been nothing short of a phenomenon since joining the promotion. From his lightning-fast debut year to demolishing top contenders like Robert Whittaker, Chimaev's rise in the middleweight ranks has been as undeniable as it has been impressive. Both fighters are undefeated in the UFC, but one will have to take their first loss.
When you really look at this guy, do you think he's going to be able to stop your takedown?
Other UFC fighters will usually strikes that takes him down. If Robert took him down and Tyron Till scramble and take over, and he took him down as well. I'm a wrestler in MMA, like one of the best wrestlers in MMA. How it's not possible to take this guy down? The guys know which level I am in wrestling and in MMA.
Du Plessis admits the pressure is real, but insists that it only fuels him. The South African fighter explained that pressure is essential in his world. It's what drives him to perform at his best. His commitment to self-expectations is high, and he knows there's no room for failure. For Du Plessis, losing is not an option. He's made it clear that the thought of returning home without his belt is unfathomable, and he has a laser focus on proving his doubters wrong once again. According to Du Plessis, every fight is an opportunity to outdo his previous performance and elevate his skill set to new heights.
You're an underdog heading into this fight. Is this going to be the toughest fight for you yet?
well, I mean, yet to lose means that I have to lose some time, and I don't need that. I have 2 losses in my career. I know how it feels, and I'm completely fine if I never feel it again.
However, Chimaev has his own thoughts on what's to come in the cage. While many observers have criticized Du Plessis' weird style, Chimaev sees it for what it is: effective. Chimaev, who's been a juggernaut in the octagon with brutal finishes and dominant wrestling, isn't worried about Du Plessis' unconventional approach. In fact, he seems unfazed by the champion's unique style and plans to simply do what he does best: strike, wrestle, and grapple. Chimaev is confident that no matter how Du Plessis fights, he'll be able to control the pace of the contest and find success.
Oh, everyone says it's weird style, weird. That's MMA style, you know, so I don't think it's some crazy weird, but he does his job, he does good, and he's a good fighter, but I'm better.
In a way, does it really matter how he fights? Because if you come out there, so far no one's been able to stop that initial takedown, and you can just do what you want to do.
Bro, when somebody laying down on the match, it's how weird you are. You're on the ground, bro, and ground and pound, submissions, bro. They don't care about your style.
But while Chimaev isn't concerned with Du Plessis' style, there are questions about whether Chimaev can keep up his relentless pace. Known for his aggressive approach, Chimaev has struggled with cardio in the past, particularly in fights that extended beyond the first round. His decision victories over Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman left questions about his gas tank, which his camp is attempting to address by bringing in a new strength and conditioning coach for this training camp. Chimaev's coaches have stated that his cardio is at a new level and the middleweight challenger is ready to push the pace as he's always done, with no intentions of changing his high output style.
Prepare for a guy who fights in such an unorthodox way.
We don't think of that so much. Think about what Khamzat can do. So it doesn't matter how DPP he fights. We don't care. We do it our own way.
And I saw an interview with ESPN where Khamzat said that he could go back down to 170 as someone who would help him with that. Do you think he could reach that weight again? He seems like a much bigger guy now.
I have no idea, but I think it's going to be a struggle, but I'm not sure. I don't know.
What are your thoughts? Obviously, a lot of the criticism is Khamzat is very good in the first round, but he might get tired. Obviously, you guys work every week. What do you think when you hear these fans or these people who don't know about his cardio?
Man, you can't compare Khamzat now, this time, unless like for 1-2 years ago, it's totally different. He have a different strength and condition coach now. So it's a different level now. So I don't think it's fair to compare him to maybe 1-2 years ago. It's not the same.
Chimaev's game plan seems to involve taking Du Plessis to the ground, as he believes that's where he can truly test the champion. Chimaev has made it clear that when the fight hits the canvas, it won't matter how weird Du Plessis' style might be. He'll grind his opponent down with his heavy ground and pound and submission attempts. Chimaev seems intent on making Du Plessis uncomfortable wherever the fight goes, and while the champion is known for his aggressive striking and movement, Chimaev believes he's the more complete fighter.
I don't know, I believe him. When I've talked to him about it, and I remember even before he fought his last fight, he was saying, I want that guy. I want Khamzat. I want the guy that people think is the scary guy.
Respect that. So not everyone saying that, you know. So a lot of guys was running away from me, you know. So he gets the champ and he says I want to fight him. It's good. Respect. And what I can say about it. It's good for me.
Yeah, it is. And
on the other hand, Du Plessis sees his style as an advantage that Chimaev can't truly prepare for. He claims that his style is so unique and so difficult to mimic that no training partner can truly replicate what he brings to the octagon. Du Plessis believes this gives him a clear edge. Chimaev may have superior wrestling, but he can't replicate Du Plessis' unpredictability and striking angles. The South African believes that if Chimaev is unable to prepare for his unusual approach, it could be the key to his success on fight night.
I've been fighting title fights for the past. I did it for 5-6 years. Into the UFC, defended my belt twice already. The hard work that he's putting in, people going, oh, he's really training hard. That's what I've been doing every single camp. Fight after fight after fight. That is, you know, that's not new to me. People are praising him for doing what is required. That's what I feel. And I'm really happy for him. And I think he's going to come in there more prepared than ever. You know, I know that feeling of fighting for your first title. I know he's going to come in there prepared. No doubt, I think, and like I said, he is a special fighter. He's incredibly good. But, jeez, I can't wait. This win for me is going to be history. I am going out there and I'm going to shock the world once again. Like every other time, and everybody said, it's impossible, not this guy, not this guy.
However, there's also another narrative emerging. Sean Strickland has thrown some harsh words at Chimaev after their previous training sessions together. Strickland, who once sang Chimaev's praises, has since called the undefeated contender mentally weak. According to Strickland, Chimaev's behavior at the gym was less than impressive, and he doesn't hold him in high regard anymore. This has added some tension to the lead up to the Du Plessis versus Chimaev fight, with Strickland's criticism of Chimaev perhaps hinting at some internal struggles within Chimaev's camp.
Chimaev is just a fucking cunt. I mean, I was here when he retired from COVID, bro. I was training with him. Like, he's just a fucking cunt. You know, it's like, if you knew, I always say there's guys, if you knew on a personal level you wouldn't like, Chimaev is one of those people if you knew you wouldn't like. You know, he'll come in here. There's a video of me, I always like, oh, you're so good. Khamzat, understand, you're better than everybody. So just don't hurt people. Like, I'm being sarcastic, like, bro, like, you go and you fucking starch this 1-1 guy when there's like Edmund, there's like high-level UFC fighters, and you're picking the 1-1 fighter because like you think he's the same height as your opponent. No, you're picking him because you're a bitch, dude. Like, it's just, yeah, he's just like, no, he could fight, but like mentally, he's just a weak man. You know, he's just a weak man.
Despite these criticisms, Chimaev remains focused on his upcoming battle with Du Plessis. He's not letting the trash talk get to him, instead focusing on what lies ahead. He's ready to face Du Plessis' controversial style, confident in his abilities to neutralize whatever comes his way.
Everyone says it's weird style, weird. That's MMA style, you know? So I don't think it's some crazy weird, but he does his job, he does good, and he's a good fighter. I'm better. Bro, when somebody laying down on the match, it's how weird you are. You're on the ground, bro. And ground and pound, submissions, bro, they don't care about your style. So
in the lead up to UFC 319, Khamzat Chimaev has expressed that he's prepared for any challenge Du Plessis throws his way, whether that's striking, wrestling, or grappling. Chimaev's confidence is sky high, and he believes his pressure early in the fight will force Du Plessis into uncomfortable situations. His camp has emphasized that his cardio is better than ever, and Chimaev believes he can maintain the high intensity throughout the fight. But UFC veteran Michael Bisping suggests that if Chimaev can't finish Du Plessis early, it might be the champion's night. Bisping pointed out that Chimaev's style tends to be explosive in the first round, but the real test comes in the later rounds when the gas tank might begin to falter.
Khamzat Chimaev needs to have a secret weapon because in the past he has slowed down. If he can get the cardio to where he can push a hard pace for 5 rounds, then Dricus Du Plessis might just be in some trouble here. We might have a new champion.
Bisping's thoughts are shared by many who believe Du Plessis has the cardio and toughness to outlast Chimaev if the fight goes the distance. The South African champion has shown time and time again that he can weather storms, especially when his opponent fades in the later rounds. If Chimaev is unable to secure an early finish, Du Plessis might have the advantage, taking over the fight as the rounds progress.
Early pick for you, DDP, Khamzat.
I don't see anybody getting past Khamzat right now. I do think DDP's awkward style and it being a 5-round fight could play a factor, but if he doesn't get submitted, he can definitely endure and put some pace on him.
Nasruddin Imavov has also weighed in on the matchup. Imavov predicts that Chimaev will get the finish in the first 2 rounds, citing his explosive style and relentless pressure. However, Imavov also acknowledges that Du Plessis' weird style and strong cardio could make things difficult for Chimaev if the fight goes past the initial stages. Imavov's prediction hints at the common consensus among analysts. It's either Chimaev early or Du Plessis in the later rounds.
I think the same way, but I think, you know, in my mind, Khamzat will finish the fight in the 2 first rounds. That's what I have in my mind. But of course, I understand people that think that the longer it goes, the more it can go in the favor of DDP because of his cardio, but also his way of fighting that is very weird, very strange, you know?
UFC 319's headliner is shaping up to be a clash of styles. On one side, you have Khamzat Chimaev, the unbeaten powerhouse with a reputation for destroying opponents early. On the other, there's Dricus Du Plessis, the undefeated champion with an unpredictable style and a relentless desire to prove himself once again. Will Chimaev's power and aggression carry him to victory, or will Du Plessis outlast the storm and prove why he's the middleweight king? With so much at stake, this is one of the most intriguing matchups in UFC history, and the entire MMA world is on edge waiting for the outcome.